Hello, welcome to my Becca's 48-hour bookoplathon reading vlog. We are currently an hour into the readathon already and I have been so unprepared this entire evening. I intended to jump straight in at midnight, all ready to go. I knew I didn't have much of a plan for what I'm reading because I want to leave it as open as possible, and obviously the roll drops being every 12 hours or so, I just wanted to sort of do whatever. So today I had planned to finish the book that I'm currently reading and then start a new book for the readathon. I have not done that. I've been playing Stardew Valley all evening and I was like, I'll log off at about 11 p.m. and get myself prepared for reading and getting out of game mode and into reading mode. I didn't do that. I stopped playing at 11:57 p.m. Then midnight rolled around. I loaded up Becca's live stream and my brother came in asking for me to help him with something on his game in Stardew Valley. So I've been doing that. This is the first time he's playing it, so I was really excited and I wanted to sit with him for a bit, talk to him. So that's what I've been doing for an hour. So it is now 1 a.m. and I had actually planned to read from midnight till 1 a.m. go to sleep because I have things to do tomorrow, so I'm not planning to stay up all night for the readathon. But my plan originally was finish the book I'm currently reading, start another book that actually fits the prompts. Yeah, here we are. So welcome to my very messy weekend. It's actually so weird vlogging because I haven't done anything like this since I vlogged the Reading Rush 2 years ago. Yeah. But anyway, what I'm reading, I've currently got about 70 pages left of Wonder, which I am reading on my e-reader. I've got it borrowed from the library. I wanted to finish that before I started anything else. I plan on reading the second book in the Wayward Children series. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's something like Down Among the Sticks and Bones, because that A has a dark cover and B is a fantasy and C, it is less than 200 pages, so I will definitely be able to finish it during the readathon. And obviously we'll see what the next roll drops are in 12 hours time, so we can find out what the hell's going on with the next couple of prompts and if Wonder fits any of those. So I actually have a really simple bullet journal spread for this weekend, and I've got when all the roll drops will be and the times that they'll be, and also a list of all the live streams and who will be live streaming when. This is in green gel pen and it doesn't show up very well on camera, but I can see it, so I don't care. And I will be writing down which books I read here as well as the pages I've read for the readathon. So the last 70 pages of Wonder will be here instead of the full book, and then the rest of the books that I'm reading this weekend. And also, this is my normal pages read on the 20th and the 21st, as is here. I will be able to see how many pages exactly that I've read during the readathon, though I normally don't count a day until after I've been to sleep, so anything that I read tonight will be counted for the 19th instead of the 20th, because it's I don't count it to be the next day until I've been to bed. So yeah, it'll be three days worth that will be included, I guess, on the readathon for this little section here. Becca is currently on stream with Safina, KJ Sutton and Starla. I am definitely not reading during this sprint. So I haven't even started reading yet, and I looked at my time on my laptop. I was like, it's not 1 a.m. yet, and then I looked at my phone and it is after 1 a.m. I realised my computer's frozen. And I didn't even notice. There was the big timer for the reading sprint on the screen, and I didn't even realise nothing on it had changed for about 10 minutes. Off to a great start. Hello, it is 20 to 3. I can't believe I'm still up. I just finished Wonder. Well, I finished it half an hour ago. Sprints were still going on, so I filled in my reading tracker and everything. I know I should go to bed. I've got stuff I need to do tomorrow and I can just get up early and read before I have to do like my errands and things. But I really want to start Down Among the Sticks and Bones now, or at least like in the next sprint. So I think maybe I should like keep going. Oh, is this a bad idea? This is a bad idea. Because I'm moving house, I've got to like pack and stuff tomorrow because it's meant to be within like the next couple of weeks. But I want to keep reading. I knew this would happen. I knew if I started late, I would finish late for like this first stream, like with the sprinting stream. Oh god. I really enjoyed Wonder though. It was like a 3-star for me, and I knew it was going to be a 3-star, but it was really sweet. It was just really cute, and I really, really love Oggy. He's so sweet. Bless him. I don't really have like a lot of thoughts on it, which is why I know it's like a 3-star like average read for me. It was just like a really nice book and I do recommend. But I'm excited to start Down Among the Sticks and Bones. I read the first book in the Wayward Children series years ago. In fact, did I read it? I did. I read it for the, what's it called, Reading Rush, and I've last vlogged that, so that's really funny that like I'm reading the second book while vlogging. That's so funny. Oh my god. I reread the first book last month because I'd left it so long, but I've got all the rest of the books in the series now. I'm not going to leave it as long for the 3rd, 4th, 5th books. I won't figure out what happens. But I am excited for this book, so I'm gonna go read it. Hello. I think I last left you off when I was about to start Down Among the Sticks and Bones. It is now 7 p.m. I have not done a lot of reading today. I read a little bit of Down Among the Sticks and Bones last night. I think I did like 1 or 2 sprints, and then about 3:30 I went to go to bed. And I was planning on getting up about 8:30 for Steph's sprints. I really wanted to try and make Maddie's, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to. I needed some rest. And I slept really, really badly. I don't think I got that full 4 or 5 hours sleep at all. So I let myself like lie in bed till about 10, and I still like didn't really sleep. So I'm exhausted. And I was able to read a little bit during the day, but I've been so busy doing stuff for like packing my house. Like I had shelves up, I had a mirror up. It's all been taken down now. And all afternoon, like I've been like, oh, I'll do some reading in a bit. No. My brother wanted to watch Drag Race. We watched that, and then I made dinner, and then I came upstairs for a little power nap because me and some friends are watching Twilight tonight. Just the first movie, I think. I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done though this evening. I think like just being able to lie in bed and like rest is what I need to sort of keep me going. I don't really like drink a lot of caffeine, and like the only caffeine we have has been packed away because we don't drink it very often. I'm gonna try and stay up for Gavin's sprints a little bit tonight though. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make Jade's, but I definitely want to make it to the next roll drop. Speaking of, the next roll drops were POC rap and contemporary, and I'm going to use Wonder to fit contemporary, but I was really struggling to think of something for POC rap that I A, have to hand, and B, isn't too long, because I kind of want to read Legendborn, but it's like 500 pages. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up Queenie, because I only have a handful of books on my Kindle, which was basically enough to just get me through the month. So yeah, because all my books have been packed away now. I've only got The Sacrifice by Charlie Higson left out because I wanted to read this sometime this month, and I was hoping it would fit the next 2 prompts, but unfortunately it doesn't. I mean, it might have some like POC characters in it, but I don't want to like risk it. It's not the sort of first thing I would think of when I'm thinking of POC rap, so I think I'm going to read Queenie after I finish Down Among the Sticks and Bones, and then when we get the next 2 roll drops, hopefully at least one of them will fit that book so that I can read it.
I would miss Phoenix. I'd miss the heat. I would miss my loving, erratic, harebrained mother.
My movie's finished. I'm gonna be reading now until I go to bed probably. The next roll drop is in a couple of hours, so I probably will update you then or when I finish my book, whichever one comes first. So, see you in a bit.
What are you doing? Luna? Hello? Luna? Hello?
I thought I would just give you a quick reading update before Gavin's sprinting session starts and like the next roll drop happens. I have about 30 pages left of Down Among the Sticks and Bones. I'm really liking it, and I'm really sad that it's going to end really soon. I always feel like these books in the Wayward Children series are like the perfect length, and then like I get really into them and I want them to keep going, and it's like, oh, but it's just finished. But I'm really liking the portal world that Jack and Jill have gone into. I definitely feel like it's the sort of portal world that I would be interested in. I don't know what this says about me, but I just think it's really interesting, like how the girls were raised and in such like a strict, almost abusive situation, and then they've gone to this portal world and they've essentially switched roles because they were finally able to do something that made them happy. It does make you think about Jack, who was essentially allowed to do whatever she wanted so long as she like worked for the doctor, whereas Jill, you don't know if... Oh, Gavin's sprints have started. Let me just mute that for 5. Whereas Jill, who's like obviously living with the master, like, is he actually controlling her so she thinks like she enjoys living with him? I don't know. I can't wait to finish it, which will hopefully be within the next sprint that happens on Gavin's channel. But I'm going to end this update here because I want to find out what the roll drops are. Hello again. We've just had the 3rd roll drop, and the 5th roll was the first book in a series. So I will not be reading Queenie, I'm going to be reading Legendborn, which is a 500-page book. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it before like the end of the day, but you know, we move. And that will also cover POC rep, obviously. But Legendborn is like the only book I have that is the first one in a series that I have to hand right now because all my books are packed away. I suppose I could also read Crazy Rich Asians because I think that's technically in a series. I've been like scouring my library to see if there's anything available like now that I could download, and there isn't anything that I'm interested in reading that is also available to download immediately. Everything's got a waiting list, which is really annoying. And then the second one was a chance card. The way this was explained is just like pick a bunch of books on your TBR that you like are interested in reading like now, and the ones you maybe not as excited about, number them, and then use a random number generator to like pick one. So I'm going to be doing that, but I know it's going to give me a book that I don't currently have the time to read, so I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should just skip that one, because obviously I only have my Kindle books as well that I can choose from. Okay, so I have picked 4 books for my chance card, and 2 of them will fit the prompts. So The Gracier is a book I have checked out from the library that I'm really interested in reading, and obviously I need to read it soon. The Sacrifice is a book that I really want to read. Legendborn and Crazy Rich Asians are both books I wasn't planning on reading yet. They also meet other prompts, so they will be very helpful if I get them, but if I don't roll Legendborn or Crazy Rich Asians, I will be reading one of them as well. So we will see if the RNG is kind to me. Okay, so I'm on random.org, numbers 1 to 4. Oops. Oh my god, I can't click. I got number 2, which is The Sacrifice. This book is like 400 pages long. Where are the page numbers? This book is 450 pages long. I might read Crazy Rich Asians just because I know it's slightly shorter than Legendborn, but only slightly. I better get reading. I better get reading. At least I finished Wonder last night, so that counts towards contemporary. I was really hoping that something like disability rep or middle grade would come up so that I wouldn't have to worry about, yeah. This is so hard, especially because I have done like no reading today. Like if I had finished Down Among the Sticks and Bones earlier today, like I'd be fine. I don't know how fast paced these books are going to be either, because it usually takes me about a week to finish a Charlie Higson book. But I do really like this series and it's really action packed, so I might start that next. And then we'll see. I don't know what the last 2 roll drops are going to be though. Like if they aren't something that already meet books that I'm reading, I don't think I'm going to be able to add anything else on. I'm just not going to have the time. I don't have any short books. This is the problem. All my short books are the Wayward Children books. I don't have any graphic novels. There's nothing in my library that I can download. There's no audiobooks either, which is also annoying, an annoying thing. Like my library's great, but a lot of the stuff is always checked out and it's like a 6-month waiting list. And then the audiobooks are just really really hit and miss. I might see if Crazy Rich Asians or Legendborn are on audio at my library. I doubt it, but we'll see. I found a book in the library. Noughts and Crosses is currently immediately available on audiobook, so I will be reading that for the first book in a series and also for POC wrap. So woohoo! It is a series that I have been wanting to pick up for a really long time, but I was waiting until I could like basically binged the whole series. I feel like it's a bad time to be starting a new series, especially one that I'm probably not going to be able to get through the next few books for a while, but I am excited to see it, and I will probably have to reread the first book by the time I'm able to continue with it. I'm happy with that. I will be able to listen to it while I'm doing stuff tomorrow, hopefully, instead of not being able to get any reading done at all. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So that's managed to meet 2 prompts, and then I will also be reading The Sacrifice, which I will probably start as soon as I finish Down Among the Sticks and Bones.
I actually want to pose for a selfie in case anyone at home has like a mask, like a face mask on.
Oh my gosh, yes. If anybody has a face mask and wants to like get a selfie with this top stuff right here and Lexi, then go for it.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh, hang on, I'll do that. There we go. Oh, hang on, no. I'll take the selfie. Yeah, I'd love to see it. It's gotta happen, otherwise I just...
Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you an update on what I've been reading. So last night I finished Down Among the Sticks and Bones. I can't remember if I updated you on that already. And then I started The Sacrifice, and I really enjoyed Down Among the Sticks and Bones. It was a 4-star for me. I don't know, I feel like it's so short that I can't really give it 5 stars because it's not long enough for me to like love it. But I did really enjoy it. I like seeing Jack and Jill's like story of like what happened to them in their portal world in the moors. And then I started The Sacrifice. I read about 60 pages of that. I was going to push till 100 in that last sprint, but I was just so tired. It was 3:30. I was so tired. I was like, I'm just going to have to go to bed and I can just like read some more in the morning. And I set an alarm for like 8:30, wanting to tune in to, I think it's Book Nest's sprints for this morning. And my alarm went off and I thought, I feel really ill, like I'm just going to snooze it for a bit. And I snoozed it again, and I thought I'll just turn it off and go to sleep. So I woke up at 11:30. I was like, I don't want to miss the next roll drop, so I'm going to jump straight in the shower. And I started listening to Noughts and Crosses. I've already listened to like 30 minutes of it so far on like double speed, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I've seen a little bit of the BBC series. Like I don't think I finished it, but I watched like most of the episodes, so I can sort of remember like what the plot is, but I think the series spans like all the books. So what I'm going to be doing while I am getting ready and stuff this morning, I'm going to be listening to that while tuning into Books and Busy sprints. We just had the last roll drop and the Bookoplathon gods have been very kind to me. So the prompts were Other, which is read outside your normal genre, and also Set in the Present. So Wonder will be meeting the prompt for Set in the Present because that was present at the time it was written. Outside your normal genre, I feel like I read quite varied anyway. Like I kind of feel like I equally read contemporary, dystopian and fantasy. All the books that I've been reading for the readathon kind of would fit that because none of them necessarily I read less. I probably read contemporary the most because I'm like drawn to contemporary because it's so quick, easy to read. You don't really have to invest much of your like brain power into it. I class the Enemy series as horror, even though it's also a sort of dystopian because it's like post-apocalyptic zombies, but I class it as horror. And horror I don't read as often, so I will count The Sacrifice towards that prompt. Which means if I am able to finish Noughts and Crosses and The Sacrifice today, I have completed all the prompts. And I don't know if I am going to be able to like finish everything today, but we can try. We can try. The next reading sprint starts in like 1 minute, so I think I'm gonna stick on Noughts and Crosses, do my hair because when it dries it's really flat and straight and I hate it. And then I'm going to get something to eat, which I can listen to Noughts and Crosses while I'm doing, and then I'm going to do the little job that I have to do today of packing some more things, and then I pretty much have the rest of the day to myself. Hello! I thought I'd give you all a little reading update. I am about halfway through Noughts and Crosses. I'm really enjoying it. It's really fast paced and like loads of action, and I'm really intrigued by like the society It's basically like a reverse society where instead of Europeans going to colonize non-Western countries, it's basically like the opposite has happened. I think it's set in the present day, but the present day like when the book was written, so around like the mid-noughties. And it's basically like an alternate history story with like a dystopian society. Although it is like a dystopian, I don't want to call it that because this is basically the way things were when like segregation was in place. And it's a lot of what people still face today, where white people are in charge and black people have to just suffer that. It's a really great like political commentary on like the state of the world. But I'm enjoying the story and I really love the characters. There was a scene at one point in it where a couple of characters like had a stumble and one of them killed herself and the other one tried to, and it did really like upset me. I'm going to make dinner now. I did my chores earlier with regards to packing. I didn't have the chance to like listen while I was doing that because I was doing it with my brother. I do think I will finish Noughts and Crosses. I'm not 100% sure if I'll finish The Sacrifice by the end of the readathon, but I can try. There's like 7 hours left, I think. Yeah, there's like 7 hours left of the readathon. I have 5 hours left of my book, but because I'm listening to it on double speed, I should get through it in about 2.5 hours. The rest of that time I can use to read The Sacrifice. But what I think I'm going to do after I've finished dinner, because I'll have the evening to myself, I'm just going to alternate between the two, I think. So I just finished Noughts and Crosses. Loved it. I think I'm rating it 4.5 stars. I was not expecting it to end the way it did. Oh my god, I'm not okay. I'm planning to buy like a box set of the paperbacks as soon as I can because I really do want to continue on with this series. I really love that book. That is my third book that I've finished of the readathon. It is currently 10:30, so I don't think I'm going to be able to finish The Sacrifice before the end of the day, but I am going to try and read as much of it as I can. I'm only that way through, so yeah. At least I can say I did contribute to those reading prompts. I currently have a little bit of Prosecco. This is my second glass. Becca and everyone currently doing the sprints is drinking, and I just was like, I want to have a little drink as well. It has been a very busy weekend. I've deserved it. So cheers. I've really enjoyed this weekend. It's been stressful in parts, but it didn't even need to be. And I really hope Becca decides to do this again at some point because it's been really fun. But yeah, we're about to start the next sprint, so I'm gonna carry on with this after basically binging the whole of Noughts and Crosses. Like I was planning on like alternating between the two books this evening, but I just was like, I just want to finish it. It is literally something that you will pick up and then you can't put it down. It was so good. Even though I was listening to it on 2.5 speed, so I wasn't entirely like getting every single word, but you know, I'm gonna push to read as much of this as I can. I would like to get to page 200 at the very least, which is like halfway through. We'll see.
Wow, look.
Hey everyone! I realised that I never actually wrapped up this vlog last night. I was gonna do it after the live show ended for the final like sprint, and then Becca basically did an after party until 4 AM where like everyone was just having like those deep late night convos that you get when like you've been drinking. Is the best. It was a lot of fun to just sort of hang out afterwards. It felt like, I don't know, it just felt like I was hanging out with my friends, which I really like because I miss hanging out with my friends. But I wanted to do like a proper little like conclusion, I guess, an epilogue to this weekend and just sort of talk about which books I read and some like very brief thoughts on them. During the weekend I read 4 different books and 2 I read in completion. So I started the weekend finishing off a book I was already reading, which was Wonder by R.J. Palacio. That is a contemporary middle grade about this little boy called Oggy who was born with like facial disfigurements. So he has like malformed ears, he's like got an overbite, and I don't know, he's basically like described as just looking very different to what you might see like day to day. It's sort of just about his journey going into middle school because he's never been to school before, and I read the last 50 pages of that and it was really heartwarming. It was really sweet. I love Oggy, he's such a sweet little boy, and I did really enjoy it, and I think I gave that 3 stars. It was just sort of like a nice read for me. It hasn't made any like lasting impact on me. It's, you know, I wasn't in love with it, I wasn't obsessing over it, but I did really enjoy it. Then my first full book for the readathon was Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Seanan McGuire. That is the second book in the Wayward Children series. It is a fantasy young adult like novella. This book follows 2 characters from the first book, Jack and Jill, and like the journey that they had when they entered their portal world. I rated it 4 stars, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing Jack and Jill's adventure, and I always feel like those novellas are like the perfect length, but then I get towards the end, I'm like, I wish that I'd had more from them. You know, it would have been nice to see sort of more in depth the journey that they had. Like, you could write an entire series probably about the journey that they had. What I like about that series is getting little snippets of the adventures that these children have, like, on their journeys. Sunday, I started Noughts and Crosses by Malorie Blackman, which is a young adult dystopian novel. It's the first one in a series, and it follows 2 characters, Sephi and Callum, who are basically from different races. Sephi is a cross and Callum is a naught, which basically means Sephi's black and Callum is white. And it's basically like a reverse history where black people were the ones who like went out and colonized Europe, essentially, were the ones to like enslave white people, and then segregation is in place during the time that this novel is set. And it's just like a really interesting take on like politics, and it's sort of everything that the Noughts face in the series. Like, it's basically what black people face even still now. I rated it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I could not like put it down. I listened to the audiobook. I really like the narrators. There was a female narrator and a male narrator for each perspective. It's like a dual perspective with both Callum and Sephi. And I really want to read the next book in the series, so as soon as I can, I'm going to be getting a box set of the paperbacks so that I can continue on with it. Last book that I started during the readathon was The Sacrifice by Charlie Higson. It is the 4th book in the Enemy series, which is a young adult like horror dystopian zombie series. It follows like a bunch of kids in London after like a pandemic basically that infected like everyone over the age of 14, I think, and they made them basically become zombie-like, and like they eat children, and it's like really gruesome. Sometimes I'm really surprised that this is a young adult series because it's so gruesome, it's so graphic. I do really like this series. I only read about 100 pages of it during the readathon just because I didn't spend a lot of time reading, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm obviously going to finish it probably this week. So I've just worked out that during the whole readathon, I read 978 pages, which I'm like, wow, like that's a lot for one weekend, for me at least. I did want to try and read like a book for each prompt, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that. Like, I'm moving house, all my books are packed away. I don't have a lot of short books anyway, like pretty much all my short books are the way with children's books. And I was also like trying to fit the prompts as well. So I was able to read a book for every single prompt apart from Chance Card and Other, but I did start a book for those prompts. So for dark cover and fantasy, I'm counting Down Among the Sticks and Bones. POC rep and the first book in a series, I'm using Noughts and Crosses. For contemporary and set in the present, I am using Wonder. The Sacrifice was my Chance Card pick, and also I'm considering it Other because I don't read a lot of horror novels in general, even though like I feel like I do, but I don't. I think I said earlier in the vlog, like I tend to read like a really good balance of contemporary, fantasy and dystopian. Like, those are my favourite genres. Horror, I guess, is like the 4th one down on that list. When the prompt for Other appeared, I was like, does this mean I have to read something like a historical fiction? Because I do not like historical fictions very much. But no, it's okay. I think I forgot horror existed when that prompt came up. I don't think there's anything else I have to add to this vlog. If anybody did watch this, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna like keep up the booktube thing. I'm not gonna make myself stick to any kind of schedule or pressure myself into making a video if I'm not feeling it, but it was really fun to just vlog this weekend. I had a lot of fun. Thank you, Becca, for organising it all. This is the most fun I've had in a while because of being stuck at home. I do have a Bookstagram that I started quite recently that I'm gonna try and keep up with. Obviously, because my books are packed away, I can't take pictures of books at the moment, so I'm sort of like figuring out how can I make content without having any books. I do have a Bookstagram. There will be a link to that in the description if you would like to follow me on there. Thanks for watching. Maybe see you soon.